Client or server computing. Client machines are generally single-user PCs or workstations that provide a highly user-friendly. Client or server terminology. Application Programming Interface or API, a set of functions and a call program that allow clients and server to intercommunicate. This is the picture. This is the picture of generic client or server and client or server application. Basic software is an operating system running on the hardware platforms and the operating systems of client. This is the picture of generic client or server architecture. Client or server application. Database application. The server is a data. This is the picture of client or server architecture for database application. And this is the picture of desirable client or server use. This is the picture of the client or server database usage. In this term is misuse client or classes of client or server application. First is host-based processing, not true client or server computing, traditional mainframe environment. And the picture is host. Classes of client or server application. Server-based processing. Server does all the processing. Client provides a graphical user interface. The picture of server-based processing. Classes of client or server application. Client-based processing. All application processing done at the client. Data validation routines and other database logic function are done at the server. Cooperative processing. This is the picture of it. Cooperative processing. An application processing is performed in an optimized fashion, complex to set up and maintain. This is the picture. Three-tier client or server architecture. Application software distributed among the three types of machines. First, user machine using a thin client. Second, middle tier server, a gateway, convert protocols, merged or integrated result from the different data sources. And this is the picture of three-tier client or server architecture. File cache consistency. File cache hold. This is the picture of distributed file caching in Sprite. Middleware. Set of tools that provide. This is the picture of the role of middleware in client or server architecture. This is the picture of logical view of middleware. This is the picture of a message-oriented middleware. This is the picture of the remote procedure calls. This is the picture of the object request broker. Distributed message passing. Basic message passing primitive. And this is the picture of basic message passing primitives. Reliability versus unreliability. Reliable message passing guarantees delivery if possible. Blocking versus non-blocking. Non-blocking is process is not suspended as a result of issuing a send or receive. Efficient and flexible. Difficult to debug. Blocking. Send does not return control to the sending process. Remote procedure calls allow programs on different machines to interact using simple procedure call or return semantics. This is the picture of remote procedure call mechanism. Kind of server binding. Binding specifies the relationship between remote synchronous versus asynchronous. Synchronous RPC behave much like subroutine call. Asynchronous RPC object-oriented mechanism. Client and server ship message back and forth. Cluster, alternative to symmetric multiprocessing or SMP. Group of interconnected wall this is the example of the method and also the description, the benefits, and also the limitation. Cluster, separate server. Each computer is a separate server, no shared hard disk, need management or scheduling software. Data must be constantly copied among systems so each is cluster configuration. This is the picture of standby server with no shared hard disk. Shared nothing. Reduce communication overhead. Disk partition into volumes. Each volume owned by a computer. If computer fails, another computer get ownership of shared disk. Shared disk. Multiple computers share the same disk at the same time. Each computer has access to all of the volumes on all of the disks. Operating system design issue. Failure management. Highly available cluster offers high probability that all resources will be in service. No guarantee about the state of partially executed transaction if failure occurs. Fault-tolerant cluster ensure that all resources are out. Load balancing. When a new computer added to cluster, the load balancing facility should automatically include this computer. Cluster computer architecture. Cluster middleware services and function. Single entry point, single file hierarchy, single control point, single virtual networking, single memory space, single job. Cluster middleware service and function. Single user interface, single I/O space, single process space, checkpointing, and this is the picture of cluster computer architecture. Cluster compared to SMP. Windows cluster service. Cluster service. The picture of Windows cluster server block diagram. Sun cluster. Major component, object and communication support, process management, networking, global distributed. This is the picture of Sun cluster structure. This is the picture of Sun cluster file system extension. Beowulf and Linux cluster. The key feature is first, mass market commodity component, a dedicated processor or rather than scavenging cycle from idle workstation, dedicated private network, LAN or WAN or internet combination, no custom of components, easy replication from multiple vendors. Key feature, scalable I/O, a freely available server base. Use freely available distribution computing tools with a minimal changes. Return to design and improvement to. This is the picture of generic Beowulf configuration.